Blessed love, this is Rastafari representing for the Lion Voice, seeing? Yeah, man, keep it locked right there, sir. On to Zion we go. Lion Voice don't move slow, no. Rastafari rules and reigns, and we're going where the blessings flow. Keep it locked right there, sir, seeing? Rastafari said that. Lion's Voice.
The fittest of the fittest shall survive. My people, open your eyes. Wake up. Blessed love, this is Queen Omega representing for all lions and lionesses. With the Lion's Voice, we come to tell our story. Rastafari live it. Hey, the Lion's Voice, Rastafari.
Astrology stands out. Let me begin by saying it this way. Astrology stands out a bit from astronomy, and even more so from ancient astronomy. Now, astrology really is the study of the movements of the planets, which in astrological terms includes the sun and the moon and their positions at a specific time of the year, being the constellations that they are reacting with. This also leads to a physical reaction with the planet Earth, meaning human beings and their reaction to plants and their reaction to the food that they eat and colors. That is why in astrology, people are very concerned with the time of year that they were born. And if they are of the sign of Capricorn, they have the sign of Sagittarius, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because that, according to astrology, would have a lot to do with their characteristics and their behavior, etc., even their future. Astrology also is very geocentric in its outlook, meaning that doesn't necessarily mean that an astrologer believes that everything goes around the earth. But astrology for sure is rooted in that psychological concept that everything is going around the earth. So that is why where the planets and where the planets specifically are is a very important thing. And remember, in astrology, the planets also represents the sun and the moon. I'm actually giving you the textbook outlook on astrology because astronomy now,
Yes.
astronomy as we know it, modern astronomy, but for short, astronomy, is the study of the heavenly bodies,
Okay.
their makeup, their position, distance, as much as possible, what activities would be taking place on these heavenly bodies, and of course, this includes planets, stars, quasars, and other heavenly bodies, galaxies, etc. Astronomy does not really take into consideration the positions of planet at what time of the year and how it has to relate to your liver or your heart or your lungs. That has no place whatsoever in astronomy. But that's a big thing in astrology.
In astrology.
Now, in astrology. Now, ancient astronomy, which is really what we bring to the table, is almost a combination of both.
What do you have to tell the people about Rastafari?
Light to the world. King of kings and the conquering line of the tribe of Judah. I like himself. Where's my ruler? Hey yo! Yeah, hear them high, hear the black king on the 23rd of July. So tell them guy who praise God up in the sky, it's a lie. The Almighty living on your night. From ancient time them a try. Them Romans know them just open them suit and ties. Criminals ain't got no alibi, they stole my people. Then them come without them genocide.
Are you talking about slavery?
Them couldn't kill The lion will come conquer Judah tribe.
Who?
Go through tribulation, I and I strive, see sufferation, I and I still rise. That's why we tell them in America, live Rastafari in every ghetto area. We come to tell them in a Toronto, straight to Italy.
We're gonna get into the guests now. Family, tonight we go down to the island of Antigua in the Caribbean. Again, one of the pioneers of the Rastafari independent non-aligned media space. You know what I mean? This brethren is one of the first brethren I saw on YouTube with high level Rastafari reasoning, and usually have a panel of ones and them go deep into all type of topics at the tiger's nest. Our first reasoning is available exclusively on our Patreon, so we're not going to go into the history. We're not jumping into the Lion Talk time machine tonight. Tonight is Lidj Tafari month. We are talking about the birth of Lidj Tafari. We're going to talk about astrology. We're going to talk about the stars, all of these things tonight. So get your ital snacks. Lion Pride, help I to give a warm welcome to the Honorable Priest Isaac. Welcome.
My Lord, give thanks, give thanks. Great honor, great honor. You know, it's a great joy to be in the Lion's Den here.
You see it?
Full, yeah, man. Give thanks, you know, and all praises to the King of Kings, all praises to the Lord of Lords, and give thanks to the Father and Mother of creation. And of course, let us begin by even giving enough respect for the works that you're putting forward there. Just here taking in Burning my chalice, obviously, taking in your full introduction. And obviously it's a lot to offer, and I know the spirit, I understand, I feel the vibes, a lot to offer. And as you said, just hope that the nation and the people comprehend the importance of networking. It's a
Yes.
joy to see how you stress the networking on all different levels. So let me just commend you for the mighty works going through the earth, and the communication and the networking and the reaching out and the journalism and the professionalism and all of that. Enough respect, my Lord. Give
Give
thanks.
thanks, give thanks. And I know this is a mutual admiration society, because the I, set the groundwork, paved the way. The integrity of the I platform, unquestionable. And years, the I has been blazing a trail. So I want the I to know that, we are inspired by the I and others, but the I in particular, in terms of high level reasoning, the I is one of the first ones when I went through YouTube that I saw the I, So let us just start there. It's a mutual admiration. Brethren and brethren, this is how brethren and brethren can interact, And we may not agree on everything, but we can still
Right.
show that high level respect for each other and the work, And we still have probably 90% or 99% agreement. You know what I mean? There's just few things. So um, I want to jump straight into the topic tonight, because I know that from watching the I platform, the amount of knowledge that the I have, this is really a treat for us here on the Lion Voice Network. Let us start by, letting us know what is astrology. When we talk about astrology, the stars, these things, what is it?
True, my Lord. Well, give thanks again. And again, blessings to the full family. And if we're going to look at it from the conventional perspective, astrology stands out. Let me begin by saying it this way: astrology stands out a bit from astronomy, and even more so from ancient astronomy. Now, astrology really is the study of the movements of the planets, which in astrological terms includes the sun and the moon and their positions at a specific time of the year, being the constellations conditions that they are reacting with. This also leads to a physical reaction with the planet Earth, meaning human beings and their reaction to plants and their reaction to the food that they eat and colors. That is why in astrology, people are very concerned with the time of year that they were born. And if they are of the sign of Capricorn, they have the sign of Sagittarius, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Because that, according to astrology, would have a lot to do with their characteristics and their behavior, etc., even their future. Astrology also is very geocentric in its outlook, meaning that doesn't necessarily mean that an astrologer believes that everything goes around the earth. But astrology for sure is rooted in that psychological concept that everything is going around the earth.
Okay.
So that is why where the planets and where the planets specifically are is a very important thing. And remember, in astrology, the planets also represents the sun and the moon. I'm actually giving you the textbook outlook on astrology,
Okay.
because
Okay.
astronomy now,
Yes.
astronomy as we know it, modern astronomy, but for short, astronomy, is the study of the heavenly bodies,
Okay.
their their makeup, their obviously their position, distance, as much as possible, what activities would be taking place on these heavenly bodies, and of course, this includes planets, stars, quasars, and other heavenly bodies, galaxies, etc. Astronomy does not really take into consideration positions of planet at what time of the year and how it
Okay.
has to relate to your liver or your heart or your lungs. That has no place whatsoever in astronomy. But
Okay.
that's a big thing in astrology.
In astrology.
Now, in astrology. Now, ancient astronomy, which is really what we bring to the table,
Okay.
is almost a combination of both. But what it
Okay.
really is, both have become like a separation of. So we're in astrology, which is something I do respect. The thing is, the only thing about astrology is that astrology is mathematically off.
Okay.
Astrology, modern day astrology, almost every astrologer, unless they're dealing with the Vedic astrology or Ayurvedic medicine science, they are off at least by 10 to 12 degrees. And we may
Okay.
get into a bit of that science as we go through, as it relates to the heavens. So when someone says they were born, let's say on the pick a day, the 2nd of January, and that's my Earth day, though. And
Okay.
they say because they are a Capricorn. That may not be necessarily so,
Okay.
because what would have happened since the zodiac horoscope philosophy was placed into movement is that hundreds of years would have passed, and we must understand that the heavens, of which we are all in the heavens, earth is in space, all of
Yes,
this
I.
is space, right?
Yes, I.
So God's space and all of that, it's a living thing. It's not a
Is it?
picture that comes out in the night when the sun goes down. It's a living thing. Things are moving. So the sun actually has a what appears to be a movement of 1 degree every 72 years, you
Okay.
know, in its 30-degree movement through constellation spaces. That is why in about 2,160 years, you have the changing of a whole age, like from the Pisces age to the Aquarius age. It's a
Okay.
deep thing. But what I'm
Hold
saying,
hold
not to
on, hold on, hold on there. Stick a pin. Family, if you thought that we were staying on the ground tonight, you were wrong. We're going up. We're going up, family. So I just want to let them know this is not a surface reasoning. If you need to get a pen and a paper and take notes, we have a master teacher here. So just full joy, ital snacks, your meditation, because we're going high, high, high tonight. Continue.
True, man. I really appreciate love that. But I was saying that give thanks, praise far right forevermore. So with the different ages, that's why every 2,000 years you have a different age, which is really every
Yes, sir.
2,160 years, because in that 30 degree. So within the 12 signs, I know people will say there are 13 constellations within the zodiac. I
Yeah.
understand, we can explain all of that, but they're really 12 corridors, that's for sure. So the
Okay.
12 times the 30 degrees is where you, number one, first of all, get the 360. And as far as 1 degree every 72 years, that is why you got 2,160 years for
Okay.
fulfillment of an age. And as you said, I mean, different knowledge. If ones don't get it, you just can watch it again, just listen it
Yes.
over 3, 4 times. It's not hard to understand, don't worry. And so I'm just saying that ancient astronomy now,
Okay.
which is what we speak of, we observe the heavens. We know that the planet Venus is directly connected to the hibiscus plant. We believe that. We
Okay.
know that the acacia is Martian, meaning not an alien, but of the planet Mars. And we know
Okay.
that the aloes, because it's a cacti and it has thorns, is also of Mars, but because it's cooling, it's related to the moon. Astronomy has no part of that, but that
Okay.
is astrology as we know it. But I will repeat, astrology is off mathematically,
Okay.
which creates a very serious problem,
So
because
so
good.
I'm born in October 2nd, and they would say I'm a Libra. So you're saying, but because of the mathematics is off, I may not be a Libra.
Yes, well, I do have our sky chart that we can pull up, but we don't have to go there yet.
Yeah.
As without me pulling that up, the fact that you said the second, you see, anyone that is born within that time frame,
Mm-hmm.
between somewhere anything before the 11th or the 10th of the month, more than likely they are more connected to the constellation prior to the sign that they hold. So, for example, you are Libra.
Yes.
So, before Libra, the constellation before Libra is Virgo. And at that time, what it is, you would see the sun still coming out of Virgo on its way to Libra. It's the same thing with the Capricorn with myself.
Yes.
In fact, I could even show it to you.
Iron Vice.
Rastafari!
Them could never conquer the mountains. Thousands of years and counting. Ethiopia rise again unto the world. Now we are announcing. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Rastafari crown as the prince of peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Well, solar energy that them a see. The whole city powered by the sun's energy. The road them make out of hemp and concrete. Neighborhoods full of fruit trees that taste sweet. The youths put down them guns, them harvest and a reap. The beautiful gardens will line every street. Tired of the bloodshed, them done with the beef. Not even animals for dead, them burn out the meat. Where people say Haile Selassie I senile, when they see say him a treat the dirt like a child. Peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we giving thanks in style. See say Babylon a weapon, them a stockpile. Babylon a wicked, kill them brother and smile. Lion, Babylon a reptile. Them a plant fish, shed blood, we got plans for the soil. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Well, them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. No more gullies, proper sanitation. Proper toilets with proper filtration. Clean water for the youths them fi use. Our sons and daughters safe, no more child abuse. Africa arise, read it in the news. On the day when Rastafari ready, wicked have to move. 3D printing alongside hem shoes. Herb get legalized, hard drugs them get refused. Well, people used to say they bring him man senile. True himself he tried it with man, woman and child. Him say peace on earth from the banks of the Nile. That's why we giving thanks in style. She say Babylon a weapon, them a stockpile. Babylon a wicked, kill them brother and smile. Lion, Babylon a reptile. Them a plans for shed blood, we have plans for the soil. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the base. When the trumpet sound and the violence cease, how we say one go build up the cities. Them a plan for war, we a plan for peace. And now we see them wanna go dismantle the beast. Rastafari crown as the Prince of Peace. Him tell the youths them fi build up them countries. Babylon, them got a plan for boots war. Without them meditation, well, them not go reach far. The money where them take fi buy them bullet and gun, and money where them can use for education.